Coach Alexander here with over 20 years of experience helping people do GMAT, helping companies prepare their GMAT programs, but mostly working to create champions. That's what we do. We help people get the best education, get the best training, and to enter the schools that they want to enter. That's our final goal. So what I want to do is continue with our discussion about the GMAT and give you a better idea of how to read and understand the requirements of the different schools. And for this, I think you should stop really listening to everybody who's blabbling on the website. And you should be smart in how you read the information and the data is reported. So there's a very simple way to interpret the data. I'm going to pick a school. Okay, it's a good school. We work with people from all schools, but it's one particular school that has a very high GMAT score. Okay, it's one of the top 5 schools that people want to go to. I'm not going to tell you what it is. It doesn't really matter. But this is the information from their website. And of course they say, well, you know, we don't have minimum scores for GMAT or GRE. We'll take you, we'll consider the whole file. And that's great. That's called political correctness. But now let's look at reality. And reality comes from the statistics that they publish, and every school, most schools do this, about the class, about their averages. Why? Because they also don't want people to apply. Many of them encourage, they say, we encourage you, however, to familiarize yourself with our numbers. I'm using my words, but the point is, okay, we're not going to use the GMAT as the only thing, but you should know what you're getting into. So don't expect something that's out of range. So let's take one school, one of the top schools, and I'm going to use my notes here. And here's what they give you. They say, okay, for the GMAT, they give you a range, okay? And the total range is 630 to 790. What does that mean? That means that this is the lowest score of the person they let in. This is the highest score of the person they let in. Okay? But at the same time, they say that our overall mean is an average, is 725. So let's go approximately this way, but clearly 725 is not in the middle. 725 is a little bit more to this side, right? Because a 725 is about 60 points away from here and 100 points away from here, approximately. So this is their average. Not all schools have this average, but this is the range, okay? And so they say, okay, but our average school of the class that we let in this year, their average score is 725. Is this readable to you, my friends? Okay? Then they are nice enough to provide a range of 80%, which means our 80 percentile range of the GMAT. So this is the entire range. Now they're going to give us an 80% interval. And our 80% interval runs sorry, I went a little too far. From 690, can you see the numbers? 690 to 760. This is the 80% interval. Now, I'm a little bit not proportional, but here's what I want you to notice. The missing percentages is here. So one way to interpret that is, this is 10%, and from 760 to 790, this is 10%. Are we okay with this idea? Which means what? Which means only 10% of the people who came into their most recent class, only 10%, if we interpret correctly the information. But you know, the specifics aren't as important as the mentality. So only 6% of the people who entered into the school, which a huge percentage of my clients who come to me say, yes, that's one of the schools I want to apply to because I think they're in the top 5, had a score between 630 and 690. Does it mean you can't get in with a lower score? Of course you can. The statistics are right there. But let's be realistic about the situation. The situation is that 80% of the people to enter into the school score in this range. Okay, and there's also some 10% between 760 to 790, but this is only 30 points, while this is 60 points. Okay? I'll let you think about this. You don't have to worry too much about the statistics. But the point here is educate yourself. You don't need somebody else to tell you what's going on. You need somebody to help you figure out how to think about it. And you're smart enough to be able to interpret the information that they have and to set realistic study goals. I'd like to say training goals instead of study goals. Because when you study, you get back into a school mentality. And what we're going to talk about is that the GMAT is about something else besides a school mentality. And you need to prepare yourself well. So this is the idea. Now, this school is particularly high. Most of the top schools are around 725, their average, 730, their average. But, you know, it's a curve. It's a curve, you know. It's a curve that kind of goes like that. It's a skewed curve. I'm not going to get into the details of drawing all this, but you understand the idea that your chances drop precipitously below the 700 level. It's still good if you have other good parts of the application, but aim for the right score as opposed to hoping and wasting your time and effort. So no matter what they say about, well, we don't look at the minimum, we don't look at the maximum, there's no real range, look at their statistics, and your range will be very clear to you. So if you want more advice, we'll be happy to talk to you. There's some more information on the websites. And look for our other videos where we explain to you how to think about the GMAT and how to create the right type of program that best works for you.